What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so we are going to continue our coverage over Superman and Batman. Now remember, this title came out in the year 2003, and when it comes to this title, it was a way for DC to say, we have the two most popular characters of all time, the two most iconic characters of all time, and so it would make sense for us to go ahead and put both characters on the same team or the same book. And of course, they did that. Now, with that being said, we did cover the first storyline, which was Public Enemies. This storyline is the return of Supergirl, which honestly, this book right here was also made into an animated movie. But when it comes to this book right here, it's actually really special. And the reason why, because this was the return of Supergirl Post Crisis. Because when it came to Crisis on Infinite Earth, DC had this huge initiative to say that Superman is the sole survivor of Krypton, meaning that there is no other characters from Krypton at all. No Supergirl, no Superdog, none of that. But over the years, you slowly had DC begin the process of bringing back different kinds of things that came from Krypton. And so sooner or later, they realized, okay, it's time for us to bring back Supergirl. And let's see if fans would actually care about this character. And so this is the storyline that brings Supergirl into the post-crisis timeline, which honestly is a great story. And so to begin today's storyline, we do pick up with Batman. Now, with Batman right now, him and other heroes are trying to do a certain kind of task, which is going around and getting different pieces of kryptonite. Because this is picking up from our last video, where Superman, Batman, Toyman, and Captain Atom had to work together to stop a meteor from crashing into the Earth. Now, this meteor was actually a piece of Krypton. Now, thanks to radiation, it was turned into kryptonite. And of course, with that happening, it could heavily affect Superman. And so you have bunch of heroes right now, including Batman, going around the world right now to find these different pieces and to hopefully lock all these pieces up. Now, when it comes to Superman, he's locked away in the Fortress of Solitude. And apparently him and Batman made a deal that he'll stay inside the Fortress of Solitude for 14 days. The thing is, when it comes to Superman, he hates that idea so much because he feels like if they find some kind of way to protect him from kryptonite, he could help them find all the different pieces. But you do have Batman say, no, you did promise me that you'll stay inside the Fortress of Solitude. Now, that is the moment where Batman does find a spaceship. And this begins the process of the origin of Supergirl post-crisis, her arrival on Earth. Now, when Batman is looking over the spaceship, he realized that on the spaceship, there is some kind of language. Now, thanks to Superman teaching Batman Kryptonian, he realized it is Kryptonian. But while he is looking over the spaceship, well, Supergirl is able to sneak into his bat boat and to be able to get away in his bat boat. And so you have Batman try to follow her. But this begins the process of us seeing the different examples of powers that she would have, just like Superman does. The problem is, though, she has no idea how to control the powers that she has. This right now is all new to her, her newfound powers. And so, of course, she's having a hard time actually controlling these new powers. But every single time Batman is able to get close to her or to just catch up to her, she gets farther away, up to a certain point where he's actually able to confront her and say, stop. Just please stop. Because right now, you could cause a lot of damage to my city because you have no idea how your powers truly work. Matter of fact, the next section confirms that when it comes to Batman, he's right. She could cause a lot of damage because that is the moment she begins to fly. just like Superman. Except when she does fly, she flies right through an air blimp. And that air blimp is about to crash into the city. And on top of that, it's on fire right now, which could cause more problems. And so Batman has no choice but to go ahead and call up Superman, which he does appear to save the day. Except while you have Superman dealing with the air blimp, you have Batman continue to chase after Supergirl before she does cause even more problems in this city. You have Batman being able to find Supergirl, and when he does find her, she is freaking out. She's scared right now because she has no idea what in the world is going on, because back on Krypton, she had no powers, but on this new world, she has powers and she has no idea how to control them. But on top of that, she has no idea what this world actually is like. Except you didn't have Batman being able to pull out kryptonite to just knock her out and take her back to his Batcave. Once they're back in the Batcave, Batman realized that Supergirl does have the same kind of DNA structure as Superman does. But the problem is, for Batman, when it comes to Superman, he is supposed to be the sole survivor of Krypton. And so right now with Supergirl, this right here should not be happening at all. There should be no one else from Krypton on Earth at all, or anywhere in the universe except for Superman. And so for Batman, this must be a trap. Now, she does wake up, and when she does wake up, Batman is lucky because he brought some backup, and that backup was Superman. And you had Superman being able to calm Supergirl down and talk to her. And of course, they do talk in Kryptonian. But while you have the two characters talking, once they do reach the end of their conversation, you then have Superman tell Batman, yo bro, I got some great news for you. And the great news is that this girl right here is my cousin. This is Kara, my cousin, and matter of fact, this is great because that means I am not the sole survivor of Krypton anymore. I have my cousin here now. Isn't this great? And for Batman, he's like, no. Because to him, she could be some kind of evil person or some kind of person that's right now being used to trap Superman down the road. But for Clark, this is great because he has his cousin. And so when we jump into the second chapter of the storyline, we do get Superman's and Batman's different point of views when it comes to Supergirl. And what I mean by that is, when it comes to Superman, it's really more of he thinks we can go ahead and trust Supergirl. Because for him, we have to realize, for many years, he was the sole survivor of his home world. But now you are talking about the idea of having someone from your home world now on Earth. Somebody that you can connect with. But for Batman, it's all about the idea of playing it safe. Hey man, listen, she may be your cousin, but we have no idea that technically she could be a pawn for somebody else to use as a way to get to you. And so you do have the two different characters right now trying their best to say, I'm right, you're wrong to each other. Now, while you have the two characters discussing that, you then have Supergirl run into the actual room. Because right now, Krypto, the super dog, is freaking out because even him right now does not even like her either. Now for Batman, that is another great example. Your dog, the super dog, doesn't even like Supergirl. That right there is very concerning because, hey, all three of you guys are from Krypton. And you're going to tell me right now your dog does not like your cousin? That seems a tad bit weird. But for Clark, it's more of, okay, you say it's weird, but at the same time, is it really that weird? Because technically right now, my dog hates everybody except me. He even hates you, Bruce. And so even though you think that my dog hating my cousin is a great example, in my mind, you're wrong right now. Like, you are so wrong about the idea of my dog being a great example of why we cannot trust Supergirl. But after that, it does lead into a conversation between Supergirl and Batman. Well, really, at first, it was Batman following her, and she realized that she was being followed. But when it comes to their conversation, it's really more Batman saying, "This is why I cannot trust you. And this is why Clark should not trust you." And his reason why? Because Supergirl is having a hard time remembering her past, because right now when it comes to her memory, it's very spotty. And so for Batman, that should be a problem. Now, this section does tell us what happened to Supergirl after Krypton blew up. And apparently, her spaceship left the same time Clark's did. The only difference is though, she got stuck inside that meteor, that piece of Krypton that was traveling through space and heading towards the Earth. And once Adam was able to break open that meteor, of course, it gave her the ability to crash on Earth. And so she says, it seems like with me being stuck inside that piece of Krypton, I was kept in some kind of stasis, but it also kept me alive as well. And so that right there could be a legit reason why she does not remember everything about Krypton at all. But you did have Clark walk in, and Clark says he feels like she's ready for the next thing. Now, Batman says no, she is not ready, but this is Superman. This is his cousin. He has the right to decide if she's ready or not. But it's about time for us to get our introduction to the bad guy of this storyline. And the bad guy of the storyline is going to be Darkseid, because we do jump over to Apokolips, the home of Darkseid. But you do have the Furies right now training. Now, when it comes to the Furies, they are, well, really, they're Darkseid's best female warriors, really his best warriors. And right now, they're going after a particular character who believes that she has the right to join the Furies. And matter of fact, when it comes to another character known as Granny Goodness, she told Darkseid her new recruit should be able to go toe-to-toe with the Furies. That was a big fat lie, because the Furies kill her off just like that. And Darkseid saw that. And Darkseid right now saying, you better get the girl that just crashed on Earth, because I feel like she would be a better fit to join the Furies and actually lead the Furies as well. But if you fail to bring her to me, I'm gonna kill you next, because I want a great leader for my Furies. Because when it came to Furies, they were following another character known as Big Barda, but Big Barda left a long time ago, and so ever since then, Darkseid has been looking for her replacement, and right now he feels like Supergirl would be a great fit to replace Big Barda when it comes to the Furies. Getting back over to Superman and Supergirl, we kind of find out that Superman took Supergirl shopping to kind of get her used to being on Earth, to show her what the Earth is truthfully like. And really, it's a great idea. And honestly, it's the two characters right now bonding. It gives Superman and Supergirl the ability to actually hang out with one another. Now, for Superman, he really wants to take Supergirl home so that she'll have the ability to meet his wife, Lois Lane. And so it's him saying, I'm trying my best to help her adjust to this new lifestyle, to Earth. Now, you'd have Batman as well, just hiding out in the shadows, just waiting to be right, because he still believes that Supergirl could be a dangerous person, some kind of pawn for someone else to use as a way to get to Superman. Now, this is also the same time where you have Superman show Supergirl a statue of himself in Metropolis. And for her, she's very confused why this statue is here. But then she realized when it comes to the people of Metropolis, they look up to Superman. And right now it's him showing her, this is what I'm trying to show you. Because with our powers, we have the ability to lead the human race in a better direction, to have people look up to us, but to use us as examples as great people to follow. But then out of nowhere, you didn't have Superman and Supergirl get attacked. Now, Batman also sees them being attacked, and so he does jump in as well. But here's the thing, because the way the book is drawn is trying to tell us, hey, Someone is attacking Batman and Superman, but we don't want to tell you who it is just yet until the ending of the second chapter. But right before the ending of the second chapter, you do have Batman being confronted by Artemis. And with them being confronted by Artemis, you know right off the bat that right now Batman and Superman are being attacked by the Amazons from the Mascara. And right at the end of the second chapter, you have Wonder Woman appear. And she tells our boys, Superman and Batman, they better back off because she came here for a very special reason. But then we jump into chapter 3. Now, chapter 3 takes place a few weeks after the ending of chapter 2. That is going to be a problem. And what I mean by that is you have Supergirl right now being trained by Artemis on Themyscira. That right there is the problem, because right now you have Superman having a hard time sitting in the back seat because he feels like with him being her cousin, with him being her people, he feels like it should be him to decide what's best for her. Not Wonder Woman, not Batman, but him. He should be the one to decide what's best for her. And so right now he's having a hard time sitting on the back burner. But we also kind of find out Batman was the one who called Wonder Woman to come in and to take Supergirl to technically train her, but at the same time learn more about her, because Batman still feels like when it comes to Supergirl, she could be a pawn for someone to use as a way to get to Superman. But here's the thing, because you have Superman say, I had enough. I feel like she needs to come back home with me so I can be the one to show her what's right and what's wrong. That right there is a problem for another reason, because now it's Supergirl saying, do I have a choice? And really, she's correct. She should have a choice. It's her life. And right now, she wants to stay here on Themyscira because she made friends. Matter of fact, one of her friends is one of the Amazonians on Themyscira. And that's Harbinger. And Harbinger has the ability to see the future or possible futures. Either way, it's her right now saying, I want to stay here. I made friends. I belong here. I'm being trained. But here you are, Clark, thinking that you have the right to decide what's best for me. But in reality, though, when it came to our parents, I was supposed to come here with you, but be your protector. But then you have Clark say, yeah, but things changed because when you arrived, I grew up. You did not. You're still a teenager and I'm an adult now, which means I have the right mindset to actually say what's best for you and what's not best for you. Now she does fly off so that Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman can talk about what's best for Supergirl. But again, not allowing her to say what's best for herself. Now you do have Supergirl and Harbinger go somewhere else on the island, so they're able to talk to one another. And this shows that over the few weeks between chapter 2 and chapter 3, these two characters have built a bond with one another. They are very close friends. But here comes the problem, because when it comes to Harbinger, she has the ability to see the future. And so right after you have Supergirl walk away, Harbinger does see a possible future. And when it comes to this future, it looks like Superman is going to hold a dead body. But getting back over to the Trinity, you have them discussing what's best for Supergirl, but again, not allowing her to join in the conversation. But while you have the three characters talking to one another, well, they are confronted by Doomsday. This is a huge problem because Doomsday was the one that killed Superman. And of course, right now, it's him freaking out because if Doomsday is able to kill him, then he'll go after Supergirl and kill her as well. Now, in reality, this is not Doomsday. And what I mean by that is, when it comes to Darkseid, he's right now building an army of Doomsdays. But these Doomsdays clones are not as good as the original, which means it gives Batman, Superman, and also Wonder Woman, and really the army of the Mascara, the ability to actually kill off these clones of Doomsday, because they're not as good as the original. And so the battle just goes on and on and on. But Batman realized that these Doomsday creatures are being able to arrive on the Mascara thanks to boom tubes. And that is very important, because for Batman, he's saying that is new God technology from New Genesis, but also Apokolips, which means that Apokolips must be behind this army of Doomsday. But at the same time, that could mean he could go after Supergirl as well, because Batman saw something else when it came to the boom tube that brought the army of Doomsdays to the Mascara. He saw a second one open up somewhere else on the island. And so once our heroes were able to defeat the actual army of Doomsdays, you have Superman realize that Batman is missing. But once you have Superman and Wonder Woman being able to catch up to Batman, they realize that Batman found a dead body. And that dead body is Lila. And that dead body is Harbinger. She is Lila. And she's dead. But this moment right here, it does confirm what she saw. Superman holding a dead body. But it wasn't Supergirl, it was hers. But then Batman said, listen, when the army of Doomsdays came through the first boom tube, I saw a second one on a different part of the island. Darkseid did all of this to get to Supergirl, and now he has her. And this ticks off Superman a lot, because now the one person that showed him that, listen, there could be more of people from Krypton out there, but also this is his family, it makes him very angry. And right now, he wants to go to Apokolips and make Darkseid pay for taking Supergirl. He then jumped into Chapter 4. And getting into Chapter 4, we do see Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman go over to the home of Big Bartha. Big Bartha. Now, when it comes to Big Bartha, this makes sense, because when it comes to her character, she used to be the leader of the Furies. Of course, the great female warriors that fight for Darkseid. Now, she left along with Mr. Miracle, and they got married at this point in DC Comics. Remember, this all takes place before the New 52. With that being said, is right now our heroes coming to her saying, we need your help to get over to Apokolips. Now, here's the thing. She says, I'll go with you, or I will help you get over to Apokolips, but I have to go with you, because honestly, if anything goes down, I want to be there, because I just love sticking it to Darkseid any way possible. Now, when it comes to Superman, he honestly does not trust her, because they do have a small history between each other. But this is Batman and also Wonder Woman saying, dude, we have no choice here. If we want to get to Apokolips, we have to use her ability to open the boom tube to get us over there. But on top of that, if she wants to join us, she has the right to join us. We need all hands on deck here if we're going to be able to get your cousin back over here to Earth. Now, honestly, to me, I feel like if I'm Superman and my cousin got taken and we do have a way to get there, why not bring the entire Justice League here to help you achieve this mission? Either way, you do have our 4 heroes right now go over to Apokolips. Now, once our heroes do arrive to Apokolips, you do have our heroes go their separate ways. And so at first, we do focus on Wonder Woman and Big Bartha. And right now, they're going over to the arena where the Furies train at. And once they do arrive, they are confronted by the Furies. Now, at first, it does look like our heroes should be able to defeat these guys very easily, but for the sake of the storyline, we gotta make it seem like our heroes are going to be unable to win this battle. And the reason why I'm saying that, because at first they are winning, and then just like that, they're about to lose. Matter of fact, you have Granny Goodness in the Furies about to kill off Big Barda if Diana does not give up. And so right now she has no choice but to go ahead and give up to save the life of Big Barda. But then we skip over to Batman, and you have Batman just walking around looking for a particular kind of item. Really, a lot of particular items at the moment. But at the same time, he has to make sure the dogs do not find him, because on Apokolips, these dogs are huge. And these dogs find you, they're going to eat you alive just like that. Well, really, they do find him, and they try to eat him alive. And so you have Batman being able to run away. Now, once he's able to run away, he does go into a particular room. And this room right now is holding onto a certain kind of item known as Hellspore. Really, a whole bunch of Hellspores. And Hellspores are used by Apokolips as a way to destroy planets across the universe. And so these Hellspores are very powerful. But now you are talking about the idea of many of them being in one room. And so if Batman is able to arm all the different Hellspawns, well, Apokolips will go bye-bye. But right before Batman is able to set every single one of them off, or really arm them, well, then he is eaten alive by one of the many guard dogs on Apokolips. But then we have to jump over to Superman. And when we do, it's Superman right now walking into Darkseid's throne room. Now, when he walks into Darkseid's throne room, he finds Supergirl. It's just that her outfit has changed. And he's wondering, why in the world did her outfit change? We know why. Because Darkseid was able to take over her mind. Now, the way he was able to do that is by playing off one particular thing in her mind, or one thing she always wanted, which was to have the ability to decide what's best for her and herself without the help of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Because remember, in the last couple of chapters, they were arguing with one another what is best for her. And when she tried to put her own input in, they were like, be quiet. You do not get the right to decide what's best for you because you're a teenager. No, who cares? And so with that, Darkseid said, you know what? I'm going to control your mind. But I'm going to control your mind by building off that one particular emotion, or that one particular thing you want in life. And with that, bam, I should have full control over you. And bam, he does. Because then he says, hey, Supergirl, go ahead and take care of your cousin for me, please. And just like that, you have Supergirl and Superman fighting against each other. But it's Superman right now wondering what to do, because now his cousin is fighting against him. But at the same time, Darkseid said, kill your cousin. And it seems like she's okay with actually killing her own cousin. Now, the opening of the 5th chapter, it does go through a couple pages where we're able to see each of our heroes, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, go through their different kinds of situation. Now, for Batman and Wonder Woman, they really get out of their situations very easily, and that's great. But Superman does not. He gets punched right in the face by Supergirl, which does lead us into the battle between Supergirl and Superman. And so diving into the battle between Superman and Supergirl, this is Superman right now really playing more defense rather than playing offense. He's letting Supergirl just beat down on him. Now, here's the thing, because you also have Superman say how powerful she is. And really, this is a callback to Crisis on Infinite Earth, because in that storyline, we do learn that Supergirl could have been more powerful than Superman. And really, this could be foreshadowing to the New 52, where they do fight once again and she's able to beat down on him. And so with that being said, right now he's realizing how powerful Supergirl truly is. Now, with that being said, he has no choice but to go ahead and pull out a kryptonite ring. Now, yes, it does affect him as well, and you can see that in his arm and his hand, but he has no choice as a way to use that to hopefully knock her out, to do some damage to her. But then we jump over to Batman. Now, when we do jump over to Batman, it's Batman right now confronting Darkseid. Now, this is literally a fool's errand, but this is Batman saying, no, I have a plan. And he said, listen, you are going to let go of Supergirl and stop trying to control her mind. Now, for Darkseid, he's wondering who the heck Batman think he is, but Batman has a plan here. And Batman says, listen very carefully, Darkseid, because you also have Hellspores on your planet. And right now, I had activated every single one of them, which means that right now, if all those Hellspores go off, Apokolips goes bye-bye. And I know, Darkseid, you do not want to lose your home world that easily to a regular human. Now, for Darkseid, he's wondering if Batman is lying. And matter of fact, you have Darkseid say, I could kill you easily, Batman. So easily. But it's also Batman saying, yeah, you could kill me, but at the same time, you might die. Or technically, you might lose an entire world. And so you have a choice here. Go ahead and let Supergirl go and let us all leave here, or say bye-bye to your planet. And you have Darkseid say, you know what, fine. I will let y'all go. And her as well. I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to be very ticked off that I lost to a regular human, not a demigod, not a Superman, but you. Once done being on Apokolips, you do have our heroes go back over to Themyscira. Now, when they do arrive on Themyscira, this is really more of a celebration, but at the same time a funeral, because they're happy about the idea that they were able to bring Supergirl back to Paradise Island. But at the same time, Harbinger died, and she was on Themyscira. And so, of course, they're having a funeral for her as well. And this is hard for Supergirl. Now, you do have Supergirl being able to get Batman on her side by saying, hey, listen, you asked me different questions about my past life. Now I do remember. And that right there tells Batman, maybe he can trust her just like he trusts Superman. But then you have Supergirl tell Clark, I know what I want to do with my life. And this is Clark right now saying, fine, let me give you more ability to decide what's best for you. And this leads to Superman taking Supergirl back over to the Fortress of Solitude, where this is the moment where we get Supergirl back. She decides to become Supergirl in DC Comics. It's a great moment. Now, at first, she's kind of worried about the idea of being Supergirl because she remembers what Darkseid did to her. But this is Superman right now saying, hey, listen, don't let that there stop you from being who you believe who you could be. Like, you can be a great hero, a great person for this world, and I'll be there to help you out through all the different kind of struggles you might go through. But now I want you to meet some people I truly do care for. And he takes her home, the Kent's farm, because he wants his family, his ma and pa, to be able to meet his cousin, someone else from his home world. Except Darkseid was hiding out inside his home. Darkseid pops out of the house and Darkseid just kills Supergirl just like that. By using his Omega beams, he was able to kill Supergirl just like that and turn her to dust. Supergirl died right in front of the eyes of Superman. And that ends the 5th chapter. And so when we jump into the final chapter of this storyline, it's really more Superman right now saying, okay, Darkseid, you messed up. You killed my cousin, so now you get the beatdown of your life. And this is just Superman right now, just letting go. It's full rage Superman. But at the same time, this makes sense because he just lost a person that he just found. He finally has someone from Krypton that he could actually talk to and bond with, and now that person is gone. And so this is Superman right now saying, no, you have messed up. And matter of fact, he takes the battle to space, where he gets closer and closer to the sun. And of course, he gets stronger and stronger. But then you have Clark say, no, you are not going back to Apokolips. No, you're not going to die here. I want you to go somewhere else. And I want you to go to the Source Wall. And the Source Wall is technically the barrier around the ending parts of the universe. And of course, right now, when it comes to the Source Wall, there are other kind of characters that had technically failed when it came to somehow helping the universe or trying to control the universe. Either way, there are other powerful beings trapped inside the Source Wall that surround the ending areas of the universe. And right now, you have Superman saying, you are going to stay here. Bye. I hope I never see you again. And he leaves Darkseid there because even though Supergirl did die, Superman is not a killer. But he made sure to beat down on Darkseid. Had a hard time saying that. He beat down on Darkseid to tell Darkseid, you took everything away from her. The ability to see movies, have her first kiss, all of that. Because you hate the idea that I was able to defeat you, that Batman was able to defeat you. And so now I'm going to give you a beating and a huge loss in her name. And so to wrap up today's video, well, we kind of find out that Supergirl did not die. Matter of fact, she's alive. Yeah, you heard that right. She is alive, because when it came to the ending of the last chapter, yeah, we saw Darkseid kill someone, but he didn't kill Supergirl. He killed some kind of decoy. And so for Darkseid, he believes that he did kill off Supergirl, but in reality, he didn't kill her. He killed some fake decoy. And so she is alive and well. And this really does wrap up today's storyline, because it was really more Batman and also Superman saying, hey, you know what? We know that sooner or later, Darkseid would come back to you to kill you, because technically Batman did take you away from him. And unfortunately, he hates the idea of losing anything at all, especially a powerful being like you. And so that is why he came to Earth, to kill you, because he lost you. But now he's dealt with, you can now be Supergirl. Now she's worried about, Lex Luthor or other kind of bad guys to come after her. But it's Clark saying, don't worry, because thing is, we'll be there for you. The Justice League, the entire, superhero community will be there for you, but especially me. And so at the end of the storyline, this gives us the return of Supergirl Post Crisis. And then like 7 years later, we get New 52, but she's still there as well. But with that being said, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. See you later, guys. Bye.